Let's solve Unit 9 Data Communication and Computer Networks questions. Arrange the following steps of the DHCP Dynamic Host Control Protocol process in the correct sequence. DHCP provides static and dynamic address allocation that can be manual or automatic. And let's see the process now. The first step is DHCP Discover. The client device sends out a broadcast message to locate available DHCP servers on the network. Next is DHCP Offer. DHCP servers on the network responds to the DHCP Discover message with the DHCP Offer, which includes an available IP address and other configuration information. The next step is DHCP Request. The client chooses one of the DHCP offers if multiple are received and responds with the DHCP request message indicating its acceptance of the offered IP address and other configuration settings. DHCP Acknowledgement ACK. The DHCP server acknowledges the client's DHCP request with the DHCP ACK message confirming the lease of the IP address and providing any additional network configuration information. Client receives IP configuration. With the confirmation from the DHCP server, the client now has a valid IP address and network configuration, allowing it to communicate on the network. So what is the first step? Discover, it is B. The next step is offer, it is C. The next step is request, it is D. Then the next step is DHCP ACK. Actually, it is given together. It is DHCP and ACK. This will be A. And client receives IP configuration will be E. The order will be B, C, D, A, E. Option number 2 will be the right answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding multiple access techniques and identify the correct ones. Aloha is used for multiple access on a shared medium. TDMA uses Walsh tables for time slot allocation. CSMA CD was invented for wireless networks. CDMA codes are sequence of number generated by orthogonal codes. Let's see the statements one by one. Aloha, the earliest random access method, was designed for a radio wireless LAN, but it can be used on any shared medium. So A statement is definitely true. When A is true, you can rule out option 2 and 3. What about TDMA? TDMA allocates different time slots to different users or channels on the same frequency band. Walsh tables are actually used in code division multiple access. This particular CDMA systems actually use Walsh tables where orthogonal Walsh codes are employed to distinguish between different user signals on the same frequency. So TDMA does not use Walsh tables. B is wrong. When you know B is wrong, we know option 1 is wrong. From this we can understand D is definitely correct because this point also supports orthogonal codes statement in D. What about carrier sense multiple access with collision detection? This was actually developed for wired Ethernet networks and not for wireless networks. So this is also wrong. What about collision avoidance? This is designed to prevent data collisions in wireless networks. This wireless networks is for CSMA CA and not for CD. What about CDMA codes? This statement is right. CDMA codes are sequence of number generated by orthogonal codes. So that point is actually present in this particular statement. So we are going with option number 4, A and D only as the right answer. If you say TDMA does not use Walsh tables, then you have to know which systems use Walsh tables. So it is done by CDMA systems. When you know collision detection is not for wireless networks, then you have to know collision avoidance is for wireless networks. Next question, the Hamming distance between 10101 and 11110 is what is Hamming distance? It is the number of positions at which the corresponding bits are different. So we have taken the first code here 10101 and the second code 0. We have 1 and 1 here, but we have 0 and 1 here. This bit is differing. 1 and 1 is fine. 0 and 1, 1 and 0. So how many positions are differing in their bits? 3 positions. So the Hamming distance value will be option number 2, 3. So there are 3 number of positions at which the corresponding bits are different. Next question. Consider a noiseless channel with a bandwidth of 5000 Hz transmitting a signal with 2 signal levels. The maximum bitrate is. For a noiseless channel, the Nyquist bitrate formula defines the maximum bitrate. Bitrate is given by 2 into bandwidth into log to the base 2 with L. This L is nothing but signal level. So according to the question, capital L's value will be 2 because they have given 2 signal levels. The bandwidth value is given as 5000 Hz. We have a log calculation here. So let's take log to the base 2 with L. This will be log 2 to the base 2. What is log 2 to the base 2? It is 1. So this can be taken as 2 into bandwidth into 1. 2 into bandwidth will be 2 into 5000 and bit rate will always be given as bits per second. So here this is 2 into 5 is 10, then we have 3 zeros. So it is 10,000 bits per second. Option number 2, 10,000 BPS will be the right answer. Next question. The primary function of firewall in network security is. The primary function of a firewall is to filter incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. This is actually matching with option number 3. Option 3 will be the right answer. Firewalls act as a barrier between a trusted internal network and untrusted external networks, preventing unauthorized access while allowing legitimate traffic to pass through. Next question. The network using CSMA-CD has a bandwidth of 20 Mbps. If the maximum propagation time is 25 microsecond, what is the minimum size of the frame? Minimum frame size is given by 2 into bandwidth into propagation time. We are given bandwidth and maximum propagation time details in the question. We are just going to substitute the values. 2 into bandwidth value will be 20 megabits per second. Then propagation time value will be 25 microsecond. We will have 2 into 20 as it is and we will have 25 also here. This megabits can be expressed as 10 to the power 6 bits. So this is 10 to the power 6 bits per second can be written in this way. And this microsecond can be written as 10 to the power minus 6 seconds. Second and second will get cancelled. 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power minus 6 will get cancelled. That is 10 to the power 6 minus 6 will give 10 to the power 0 which is equal to 1. This is how I am cancelling here. You have only bits unit here. 25 into 2 is 50, 50 into 20 is 1000 and the bits unit will alone stay here. Option number 2, 1000 bits will be the right answer. Next question. Sequence the following stages of the sliding window protocol for flow control. You will see the diagram of this sliding window protocol in the reference book. I have not included here in this video because it is already explained in one of the previous year question paper. I don't want to repeat that. Sender transmits frame within the window. So here it starts with sender sensor window of frames. It is B. What happens here? The sender is allowed to send a number of frames specified by the window size, but it cannot send frames beyond the window. Next one is receiver acknowledges the received frames. Receiver acknowledges the received frames will be C here. The receiver sends acknowledgement frames back to the sender for the frames it successfully receives. Sender moves the window to the next set of frames. Once the sender receives the ACK frames from the receiver, it moves the window to the next set of frames that need to be sent. So A step is here. Sender move the window to the next set of frames. What about the final step? If acknowledgement is not received, sender retransmits the frame. This is D. If the sender does not receive an acknowledgement for a particular frame within a certain time frame, it will retransmit that frame. That is what it is given as sender retransmits unacknowledged frames. It will wait for certain time and then it will retransmit. The order will be B, C, A, D. It is available in option 4. Option number 4 will be the right answer. Next question, match list 1 with list 2. Service level agreement, virtualization, Internet of Things, platform as a service. We will start with virtualization. What is virtualization? This is a method allowing multiple operating systems to run on a single physical server. B is mapping to 4. What about Internet of Things? The technology that connects and enables communication between physical devices over the internet. You can take smart home appliances under this. So if you are able to manage multiple devices with the access of your smartphone, then that can be taken as an example of IoT application. C will be mapping to 1. What about platform as a service? It's a development environment that provides over the internet to create and deploy applications. D will be mapping to 2. When you are able to work on an application directly on the internet without installing anything in your system, similar to Google Drive, that is software as a service. But if you have a development environment that allows you to create and deploy applications over the internet, that will be platform as a service. What about service level agreement? Contracts that specify performance standards and services availability. A will be mapping to 3. A3, B4, C1, D2 is available in option 2. Option number 2 will be the right answer. Next question, match the list 1 with list 2. The process or the protocols are given in list 1 and their functions are given in list 2. We have learnt about ARP, POP in previous year question papers. So let's start with Address Resolution Protocol, ARP. It's a protocol that maps IP address to MAC addresses on a local area network. B will be mapping to 3. What about Post Office Protocol? This is a protocol that allows email clients to retrieve emails from a mail server. C will be mapping to 1. B3, C1 is available only in one option. If you would have practiced previous year questions before attending this particular exam session, you could have definitely answered this question based on your learning about ARP and POP from the previous year question paper. Now let's see about Telnet. This is used for remote login to another computer over a network. D will be mapping to 2. This is not remove login, this is remote login. What about Internet Message Access Protocol, IMAP? This protocol allows accessing email on the server without downloading them. A will be mapping to 4. Option number 3, A4, B3, C1, D2 will be the right answer. Next question. Which of the following are key features of mobile ad hoc networks, MANETs? MANETs are characterized by their ability to self-organize without relying on a central authority or fixed infrastructure. Each node in the network can act as both a host and a router, dynamically establishing routes and managing network traffic based on current topology. From this we can say self-organizing and decentralized will be key feature of MANET. Definitely A is included in the answer. When A is included in the answer, C option requires fixed infrastructure for operation should be definitely ruled out, because they say it is without relying on central authority or fixed infrastructure. Again, if you take E statement, it requires a central controller to manage network traffic. So when A is right, we can remove C and E from the option automatically if you understand what is MANET. Whichever options have C and E, you can remove them. This is having E, this is having C and E, and this is having C. So only one option is left out. Nodes in a MANET are typically mobile, which means they can move freely within the network area. This high mobility allows for flexible and dynamic network configurations, making MANETs suitable for environments where network topology changes frequently, such as disaster recovery, military operations, and vehicular communication. So B statement, high mobility of nodes is a characteristic feature. Just look at this point. This is suitable for environment where network topology changes frequently, and this allows for dynamic network configuration. Based on these 2 points, we can mark D to be true. Network topology is dynamic and constantly changing. A, B and D points are key features of mobile ad hoc networks. Option number 3, A, B and D only will be the right answer. Due to the mobility of nodes, the network topology in a MANET is highly dynamic. This point is clearly supporting D. Links between nodes can be established and broken frequently as nodes move in and out of each other's range. This constant change requires robust routing protocols that can adapt to the evolving network structure. One of the defining characteristics of MANETs is the lack of dependency on fixed infrastructure and central controllers. This is the point you can find in C and E, which says they are not a feature. Instead, MANETs operate in a decentralized manner, which is supporting A, with nodes collaborating to manage network functions. Next question, choose the correct statements from the following. Let's start with A. In connection-oriented service, the destination address is to be specified only during the setup. In a connection-oriented service such as TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, the destination address is specified during the initial setup phase, which is known as the connection establishment phase. A is true. What about B? Packet sequencing is not guaranteed in connection-oriented service. This is false. Packet sequencing is guaranteed in connection-oriented services such as TCP. TCP ensures that data is delivered in the correct order by assigning a sequence number to each packet. If packets arrive out of order, TCP will reorder them based on their sequence numbers before delivering them to the application layer, maintaining the correct sequence of data. Connectionless services like UDP, User Datagram Protocol, do not guarantee packet sequencing, which means packets can arrive out of order. It is because along with each packet, UDP will carry the destination address. But here, destination address is given only in the initial setup stage. Based on this sequence number only, it has to travel to the destination is what they say. So, it is not guaranteed is a wrong point here. What about C? Flooding is method in which every incoming packet is sent out on every outgoing line except the one by which it arrived. Say for example, there are many network lines. If this line is going to bring you the incoming packet, except this line, it will send to every other outgoing line is what they say. This technique ensures that the packet reaches all nodes in the network, but it can lead to a high volume of redundant packets and can potentially cause network congestion. That's why this method is named as flooding. So C is true. Presentation layer performs detection and recovery from errors in the transmitted data. This is false. Presentation layer is available in the OSI reference model. This handles tasks such as data encryption, decryption, compression and data format translation. We know this layer is not performing this task. D is definitely wrong. Error detection and recovery from errors in transmitted data are primarily the responsibilities of the transport layer and the data link layer. The transport layer provides reliable data transfer with error detection and recovery mechanisms. What about data link layer? This handles error detection and correction for data frames transmitted over the physical layer. Here they are talking about detection and recovery, which is the transport layer part. Only A and C are right statements. So option number 3, A and C only will be the right answer. Let me again remind you, when the statement is right, you can understand more about the procedure. But when the statement is wrong, identify what is wrong in the statement. And the point that they have given here, it is not guarantee. You have to find which service is actually using no guarantee during transmission. So here we have found UDP follows this no guarantee mechanism. Similarly, we have found transport layer and data link layer are involved in error detection. But when it is detection and recovery, it is about transport layer and not about the presentation layer. And along with that, you have to also know what are the tasks that are handled by presentation layer. So you have to take two learning from wrong statement. What is wrong with the given information and which is correct for the given information. With this, we are completing Unit 9 solutions.